It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Stout Brewing Company, and it's a bottle of their Imperial Russian Stout coming in at 11% ABV. Really excited about this beer. It's a 2014 release. There's the bottle cap. I picked this up today in Brewdog in Cardiff. There's the crack, there's the open. So, beer pouring out, it's that big, gluggy loveliness of a Russian Imperial Stout that I just love to look at and I love to get my hands on, and I love to hear when it pours out of the bottle. Lovely lacing on the glass then. Jet black beer, no light getting in there whatsoever. There's a little bit of carbonation rising up the side of the glass, not too much. I think if it was too carbonated it would spoil the beer. But this looks like a thick, viscous Russian Imperial Stout. Let's get the aroma. And what I get in there is, for some reason, I immediately thought breakfast stout. I could almost smell oats in there. I've not looked at the ingredients on the beer. I imagine to get that thickness, that lovely creamy feel in that beer, that there will be a certain amount of oats in the beer. So it's a biscuity, bready, breakfasty style of beer for me. That obvious chocolate, hint of coffee, hint of caramel sweetness, and a certain degree of American hops, but it doesn't fly out at you like a black IPA. It's not meant to, because that would really confuse matters. I'm sure there's a certain amount of American hops in here, but it's not overly done. Let's dive in. Cheers. Wow. Not as thick, creamy and full-bodied as what I call a Norwegian Imperial Russian Stout. But it's certainly got a lovely, rich, creamy mouthfeel. Has got it. Very vinous. It's a vinous beer, and if I'm honest, there was a certain aroma when I was smelling it that I couldn't quite touch on, couldn't quite put my finger on it. But now I'm drinking the beer, it's that red wine berry vinous quality to the beer. Very nice tasting beer. The beer slips down, coats the palate, but as I say, it's not as thick and hugely full-bodied as a Norwegian Imperial Russian Stout. I think for the style, the Norwegians have got it absolutely nailed. They really know how to brew a great Imperial Russian Stout. This is very, very good, but it's just for me a little bit short on the mouthfeel. But in terms of flavours, it's got a bready sweetness up front, that oatiness, and then it kind of falls back on fruity hops. Your chocolate, your coffee, your caramel, and then a slight bitterness on the back end. Whether or not that is coming from that kind of roasted bitterness from the malt, or there's a certain element, a certain degree of American hops in here, I believe it's a bit of both. Yeah, absolutely, certainly. What am I talking about? Yes, it has got quite a bit of American hops in here, but it's not enough to call it a black IPA. I think they've got the balance perfect here. I think some Russian Imperial Stouts you try, they really are hopped up, and it blurs the lines because some people brew Imperial black IPAs. Some people brew Imperial Russian Stouts with lots of hops in, and it kind of, what's the difference? But with this, there's a clear difference. This is a clear Imperial Russian Stout. (11% ABV). The alcohol is hidden very, very well. There's a slight tickle of alcohol on the back end, but it's not, again, sometimes you drink beers and even at 7%, 6-7%, you get a big feel of alcohol, and that's not good. But this, the art in this beer, the art with Stone Brewing Company, is how well they've hidden that 11% alcohol in this beer. It's a little bit raisiny on the back end. It's figgy and fruity and vinous, and the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm enjoying it. It's a very complex beer. It's a beer that you need to really sit and think about over 45 minutes. Strip them flavours back, write them down on a piece of paper, and have 1 or 2 final sips of the beer, and realise just how complex, just how many different flavours are in the beer. But it is exactly what I'm expecting from Stone Brewing Company. Another fabulous beer. Their Ruination was a great beer. Their Smoked Porter was a great beer. Their Barley Wines are great beers. If you have a look on the internet, if you have a look at the size of the brewery, it's quite large. And to get a brewery to that scale, and to continue with that great quality of brewing, the great beers that they produce, is almost a marvel. It's scientific. It really is scientific. So there you have it then, Stone Imperial Russian Stout 2014 release. Stonebrewing.com. You've heard of them. How haven't you? They're one of the best breweries in the world. Rating, Stone Imperial Russian Stout. I like the look of the beer. It's a great product to look at. I like the aroma, I like the taste. But I really need to sit down now and just go away and enjoy it, and write down all of them different flavours that I get, and relax with this great beer. Rating, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a very, very good Imperial Russian Stout, but it's certainly not the best. Thanks for watching me. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.